Hey everybody, Leslie here. As a person who has written a book about the paralegal career called Legal Break-In, but I've also developed a course. And the thing that we battle as we're reading the book and we start to move towards a paralegal career is within ourselves. And it is the confidence that we need to build up. And we have to feel grateful for everything we're learning along the way. And that's why I'm telling you all the time in my videos to track what you know, to when you learn how to operate Microsoft Word. And it's more than just learning margins and tabs and that type of thing, but you learn some advanced skills, and meaning how to merge documents, how to do a table of contents, how to do a table of authorities. And if you want to learn how to do advanced skills and all that, you have options, and you can just go on YouTube and search for that. So go the extra mile, and then when you learn those things, write it down. Keep track of everything you're learning so that you don't diminish yourself in your own eyes. That things that come up from the past that tell us that we don't know much, or we can't do this, we can't make this jump, we can't down the road, I'm not saying right away, but down the road maybe earn more than minimum wage, and that there's no hope for us. When you look at what you're accomplishing in steps, you need to pat yourself on the back. Be grateful, be content for those steps, because they're not so small. We may think they're small. In our eyes, they may be small, and maybe in other people's eyes they are, but they're not. They're not in my eyes. That when you achieve and you learn how to do the margins in Word for the first time, the top, bottom, and sides, and you learn how to set up tabs in Word. And those are the basic things. You learn how to change the font. You learn how to make a word bold. You know how to maybe do some shortcuts in Word. Learn all of that, and then pat yourself on the back for every step. Increase your typing speed to as fast as you possibly can, in order to enter this field. Take typing tests over and over again, and then don't beat yourself up. Pat yourself on the back, even if no one else is doing it for you. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Glad you're here, Lisa. Thanks for everyone who's here. Jemiah, thank you for being here. And anybody else who's here with me today. Your comments will appear and then they disappear when on the smartphone, but I'll try to catch them. It's like a game, So be grateful for how far you've come, and then be patient with yourself for how far you have to go. But don't think that perfection is going to be there, because it's not. What I tried to do is do the best I could and be accurate and push myself, constantly pushing myself. Hello, how are you, Bridget? Glad you're here. Be sure to watch the videos here, and I know a lot of you are binge watching. Take notes though, especially when you're watching things, well, a lot of it, but when you're watching the interview stuff, take notes and start making a file for the questions that you would ask an attorney during the interview, or you would ask an administrator. But I would ask the attorney. You always want to interview with the attorney you'll be working for. Big hint. Big hint. You have to be happy on the journey. Now, that being said, be careful who you start sharing this journey with. Some people you share the journey with won't be happy for you. They will feel jealous. They will feel threatened. They will feel anxious, and that will come out in challenging you, in trying to manage you. Don't let anybody manage you or your career, okay? And this is a career you're building. So take your time, and will you promise me that you're going to do this? Every time you achieve something that you may think is small, I don't think it is, okay? That every step, write it down, track it on the computer, make notes on your cell phone, that says, you know, what you've achieved. Good, Lisa. I'm glad you're learning a lot. Yeah, you know what? I dove into this field with no schooling. And people will say, but Leslie, that was, you know, 28 and a half years ago. That's not how it is now. Yes, it is how it is. People are breaking in all the time without any schooling. That's an assumption that people make, that schooling is absolutely necessary. And I want you to listen to my caveat. In spite of me saying that, if you're in school right now, stay, finish what you started, and then go from there. But even so, what I heard over and over again is people not being able to get in, and that there's so many people that think you have to be certified to get in and all that. You know, some lawyers want that, some do not. That is hope for you when you cannot afford to go to school or you don't want to go into debt. Don't think that there's only one way to get into this thing, you know. And just because 30 years ago people got in without schooling, people think that, well, today it's different. No, it's not. No, it's not. I want you to up your game with your skills. Take my course in January, get on the wait list. And the wait list is primarily just so I can send you an email to say, hey, we're launching. You know, so get on go look at some of my previous emails, my videos. I would say not yesterday's. I don't think I put the links in there, but and maybe I did. No, I think I did. Look at yesterday's email in the description box and you'll see links to the wait list. All right. And there are other links there too. Yeah, I know, Lisa, but it's an assumption we make about getting into this career. And people in California, I think I said this yesterday. I was on a video, and somebody in the video while I was on said, but you don't understand, California's different. Everybody has to be certified. That's not the case. While they were on, I went right on to my favorite job site, which I share in my course. And I found entry-level jobs there, you know, and so it's just that people don't know how to look. And that's what I teach in my course. I teach doing the cover letter, how to look. I give you legal knowledge, the legal knowledge attorneys wish you had, that you need to then, when you get it in my course, put it on your resume and in your cover letter. And I teach you how to do the cover letters. But there's 38 to 39 videos. And PDF downloads. The videos are not downloadable, but the PDFs are downloadable for you to keep, as well as a private Facebook group for you to ask questions. Right before I did this video right now, I was on with my group that are in the course right now and did a video for them. And twice a month I go live and answer the questions that are posed in the group. So it's a private place where you get access to me personally. And then I take those questions and go live, and you can attend live or you can watch a replay. All the videos, though, the 38 to 39 videos are, they're recorded. Okay, they're not live, they're recorded. That's for what reason are they recorded? So that you can watch them at midnight or 1 or 4 in the morning when you have time. So I'm not going to have you like, you must attend live. That does not work. And even with the private group, you don't have to attend live. You can watch a replay, okay? Today's world is different. And but I want you to be happy as you go along this process. And yes, we put pressure on ourselves, but I don't want you to accept pressure from anyone else, okay? I'm a 28 and a half year veteran telling you that not everybody has to be certified to get in this career. If you're in school, stay in it and go the path you were going down. But understand that you're still going to need my course to break in, more than likely. And I teach you what that cover letter should look like and what attorneys are looking for. And let me read this to you. Research shows that only 10% of happiness is determined by your circumstances. 40% is based on what you think and do daily. So if you stay on the positive side of things and work towards your end game. And yes, some days you're not going to feel like it. Give yourself some space and breathe and go have a coffee or tea somewhere, and don't work on this goal one day, or 2 days in a row, but then get back at it. Don't beat yourself up so much. This is what I know what we do as humans. Don't share your dreams with naysayers or dream killers. Don't allow anybody else to manage your career but you. But you. The attorney doesn't manage your career. You manage it. You manage how fast you go through learning, and how quickly you learn, and how, what speed you want to go at. You do it at your speed. I would say push yourself and then take a breather. Push yourself, take a breather. And don't beat yourself up. Please don't do that, okay? I did it at my speed. I changed jobs when I wanted to. I gave myself a raise when I wanted it, okay? You can watch other videos about that. I didn't want to bring home a lot of grief to my children or my husband, but I don't allow my husband to manage my career, and I didn't allow my mom and dad, didn't allow grandma, didn't allow my auntie, didn't allow cousins or friends to do anything of the sort. Do not do that. If you share too much about what you're doing, they're going to manage the speed at which you do it. Okay, so be careful with that. And let me read this scripture verse. It's from Philippians 4:12, and it says, I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. You see, along the way, you're going to be learning so much. My recommendation is that you come to, it's the journey, okay? You come to Paralegal Coffee Talk and be part of that as well on Facebook. And if it's like, well, Leslie, I'm on YouTube and that's enough, well, that's okay too. But I do live videos over there, and it's usually a repeat of what I'm doing with you today. So don't feel like you're missing a tremendous amount, but it gives you a chance sometimes to, my thing is that when you're able to, that you connect with people. Yeah, exactly, Steph. Be careful regarding letting family or friends manage you or controlling you. There's a reason why this career has been placed on your heart and in your mind. I don't want you to make assumptions about it as to what it is. You have to research. That's why I put my book out, Legal Break-In. That's step one. Step two is always the course. And get on the wait list for that. The course is there because was created because so many people, even when they went to school, could not get in. And just yesterday, I had someone say, but everybody wants experience, Leslie. You don't understand. I disagree with what you said. I've applied all over the place and they want experience. Not true. Not true. I will promise you it's not true. It's how you show yourself to the hiring employer and what you are able to get across to them, and whether you get a call for an interview or not. That's all of it depends on how you express yourself and what information you're giving to them. And I teach you what they want to know because I know what they want to know. Been there, done that, was the interim administrator at a law firm for a bit. So, and had to hire a paralegal. So I do know what they want, what they're looking for, and what they don't necessarily care about. Okay, and so I want you to put your best effort out. Well, if you're in, for instance, if you're in New York, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, LA, San Francisco, Chicago, name a big city, Miami, Orlando has buku legal jobs all the time of varying types. So in a place like the border states, not everybody needs you to be proficient in Spanish, but boy, it sure helps. But it doesn't mean that everybody in California wants somebody who speaks Spanish. That's not the case. If you live in a tiny town like I did in Oklahoma of 15,000 people, and I didn't even live in the town, I lived 15 miles outside of the town, then I had to go to Tulsa to find work because it was, there weren't many jobs in my little town. There weren't many attorneys in my town. So it wasn't overrun with attorneys. So it was a teeny tiny one street or two street town, the main drag through town, that was it. So we didn't even have many restaurants. So we had to, if we wanted to go to the mall, it was going to Tulsa. And so I knew I'd have to drive 40 miles one way and go work there, which I did. And I had to work my salary up so I could pay, to make it worth my while, to pay for gas and all of that. So yeah, they're extenuating circumstances. If you live 2 hours away and you're in a tiny town and you're 2 hours away living in that tiny town, then there aren't many jobs in your area, are there? You have to be realistic with this. And if you are willing to move to that bigger town, or you're willing to, but for me, I was 40 minutes away, that was doable. And I was willing to do that, and I did. When I moved to northern Florida, I was in a big city, and I was able to find a job pretty much whenever I wanted to change, because people were moving, they were leaving the area, or they were moving jobs, changing jobs, so they were there. Tiny, tiny towns, of course, they won't have the opportunities there. That goes for any type of job, right? So that's what you have to look at. They're not going to appear out of nowhere, but prepare yourself well. Prepare yourself very well. You've got to have the foundation skills. When I tell you, you should track everything that there's a reason for that, because when you're in the interview, you have to be able to talk about that. But even more so, to get the interview, you have to be able to discuss it, right? How else are you going to get your foot in the door? And it isn't by school. All right, don't ever assume that. Don't make that assumption. All right, so that's it for today. I just wanted to say, you know what? Your attitude should be one of gratitude, that you're able to go after something like this, that you're able to have a hope of working towards something like this, that nobody's telling you that you can't go in that direction. Let me tell you, my grandfather came over to the U.S. from Europe because he was being told he had to be in a certain career that his father lined out for him. And instead, he jumped on a ship leaving in the Baltic Sea, leaving to come eventually to the U.S. And I think he was on that ship, oh gosh, on ships for something like 4 or 5 years. So my grandfather had to fight through that, and he left his home country in order to have the freedom to do that. So I'm sorry, I missed that last comment. It just comes up and disappears. I'll look and oh, here we go. Oh, thank you. Is it Teleris? Oh, is it Pamela? Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for being here, everybody. I really appreciate that you all were here today. Thank you. Thank you. I will be doing videos, I hope, on the road. Next week, I have to go out of town for about, I don't know how long. It's like 8 or 9 days, but I hope to be able to show you some stuff while I'm gone, and then do videos from there. Oh, me too. Pamela, I'm a grandma too, yeah. So, none of that should stop us from, doesn't matter. I've had young people message me on this channel, and saying, you know, what if you're 18? People think I'm too young. I had that too, where I trained in high school for 3 years and was at the top of my class with my typing and all that stuff, and no one would hire me because I was 17 when I graduated, and they just looked at me as a, well, I was a kid, a green kid, right? But I was able to get hired eventually, and not soon after that. It was very quickly after that. But one of the things is believing in you and what God has put inside you. And it does take that belief, and you raise your confidence, and the fear diminishes as you raise your confidence and your belief in your path and your purpose and what He's got in store for you. But it doesn't mean that it's handed to you, right, on a silver platter, that it's an easy road. It's not usually an easy road, in my experience. So, all right, so that's it for today. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next live video. Take care. Love you guys.